coaching with business clients, family, going to the gym, and meeting up with friends. So I've been getting a lot of emails lately and speaking to former clients who are really struggling to get a relationship because of social anxiety and confidence issues. So I'm excited to tell you guys, this coffee's kicking in, about an opportunity where you can change this. I've got a weekend confidence program coming up on, it's May the 20th and the 21st. And this program is for guys that are struggling with social anxiety and confidence issues. It's going to help you to overcome these anxieties around talking to people, and specifically with getting a relationship with the right woman that you want, because confidence is everything with getting a relationship. Usually people struggle to get a relationship or a date, several reasons. Well, the first reason is always fear, and confidence issues are going to derive from the fear and anxiety. The second reason is because they're not asking anyone out. If you don't ask, you don't communicate. If you don't ask a woman out, then the likelihood is you could be waiting to your deathbed before you meet someone. There's always a chance, obviously, that a friend could introduce you to someone, which would be great, or a woman could approach you, or you could meet someone online. But those chances are very, very small. They don't happen for most guys. And I get emails all the time from guys saying, Jonathan, I'm embarrassed to say it. There's nothing to be embarrassed of me. I'm not going to judge because I've come from a struggling place. But they say to me in writing, I'm embarrassed because I'm 40, I've never had a girlfriend, I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 59, I'm 30, I'm 25. And a big part of that is because too much overthinking, and of course, fear of rejection. You have to face your fear of rejection. I was listening to a billionaire speak. The guy was brilliant. He'd come from poverty, homelessness, and now he's a billionaire. And he said what I've said since I've been teaching confidence in all these areas. He said, you've got to go through rejection. Everyone gets rejected. If you don't go through rejections, you're not going to get the relationship. And that's a big part of what I'm going to teach on the weekend program, is how to, not just how to overcome your fear of rejection, but how to change your relationship with rejection and get excited by it. And it's the same in selling, in business, of making money. You're not going to make money and make sales if you don't go through the rejections. I get rejected every day in business, which is why I'm successful, because I go through the rejections, I keep a positive attitude, and I make money, and I attract business, I attract clients, and I teach my clients to do the same on my business coaching. So a lot of this is overcoming the fear of selling. Asking a woman out and getting a date and a relationship, it's exactly the same principle. It's pretty much the same movement as getting on the phone, making a sale and a call, going to a business meeting. It's facing that fear. It's facing those emotions, and the more you practice, the more confident you become. So if you guys are interested in signing up to the weekend program, I've got 4 spaces. Send me an email and then I can book you on the program. You've got some time to prepare because it's in, where are we now? 20th. So yeah, it's about a month's time that you've got. Let me just share this stream. I'll share this on Facebook. So yeah, as I was saying earlier on, it's a communication problem that men have. It's the shyness. It's really the lack of speaking to people. If you want a relationship, in most cases, as I said, especially with the challenging times that we're in, you've got to overcome your fear and talk to them. I mean, that's how I got my last girlfriend. All the girlfriends that I dated. Because I faced that fear and I asked them out and I was honest, like I was teaching on the channel. If you're honest and you're respectful, you're going to get a relationship. But like I said, it's not like in the movies where first girl that you ask out marries you, or your childhood sweetheart. For some people, that's maybe the case, but realistically, for most people, that's not the case. Most people that have got relationships or successful in relationships have gone through rejection. It's the same in sales. There's no company in the world that gets every single sale that they make. They've got to go through the rejections. Every company right now, there's people that walk past Starbucks who look at Starbucks and they reject it. They change their mind and they don't go in there. And if that wasn't the case, then they wouldn't be getting a lot of business. But there's people that go in there, and it's no different. See, that's the thing. A lot of people are in the wrong mindset. They don't apply the everyday things that they do every single day in their life without realizing to the things that are most important, like getting the right relationship or, getting a date. Every single day you're rejecting someone. You go on YouTube, there's a video, and you don't click on the video. You reject looking at it. Someone adds you on Facebook, you say, I'm not trust this person, not feeling it, you reject it. So it's happening every day, but what most people don't realize is what I've been saying. They don't go to the most important areas of their life, which is usually love and finances, and apply that same philosophy because of fear, because of negative beliefs, being depressed, being in the wrong mindset, not being enthusiastic, and most importantly, they don't have a mentor, they don't have a coach. This is where I come in. When you've got the mental and emotional support, it makes all the difference from being stuck in fear, not having a relationship, not making money, stuck in the house, social anxiety, no opportunities to getting that relationship. And I think I've said this before, I've helped so many men to not only get a meaningful relationship. Some of my clients have got married. A client actually stopped me years ago, and he met his wife, he's married, and he thanked me. He said, due to my confidence coaching that he took, gave him the courage and the confidence and the honesty to ask, which is now his wife. So it's that mental and emotional support, and as I said, most people, they're taking advice from people that are not solicited to be given the advice. They're not qualified, they're negative, they're miserable, they're not happy, they're resentful, they're not facing their fears in their own life, and people take advice from people like that and wonder why crabs in a bucket, they're being pulled down and they're not getting the results they want. So a lot of it is about, it's quite a few things. It's your state of mind, it's your attitude is your gratitude, it's having confidence in yourself, but most importantly on a practical level, it's having the guts to go through the rejections. And that's the only reason why I achieved success, why I got a girlfriend. Obviously I've had several relationships throughout the course of my life, but none of those relationships would have been possible if I didn't confront my fears and ask someone out and communicate. If you don't ask, you don't get. And if you leave it to serendipity, or you just believe in sitting at home, then you could be waiting your whole life and never meet someone. And it's not because you're not good enough, it's not because you're not attractive enough, and it's not because you're not deserving. It's because you haven't created the opportunities by showing a woman that you exist. And I believe in what our grandparents taught us. There's someone out there for everyone, but to find that special person, you've got to face your fears. You can't just expect to ask no one out. It's a bit like me working for a company in a sales job, and I just sit on the phone and don't pick up the phone and don't make any offers. And when the boss says to me, how have you done today? And I say, well, it's really unfair, I haven't made any sales. And he says, well, how many people have you phoned? And I say 0. Versus the other guy in the company who's met all of his expectations. He's made loads of sales because he's got on the phone, he's faced his fears, he's gone through 30, 40 objections, and he's stuck at it, and he's got the success. So this is what I'm going to be teaching you on the program. And a big part of my teaching is being ethical. When you're selling or you're talking to women or talking to being respectful, not being manipulative, being yourself, being honest. And this is another reason why guys don't get the results, because they're not honest, they're not themselves. They're trying to be somebody else, and that just creates anxiety, and it just stops you from getting the right relationship. If you're not yourself, then what's the point? Because if you do meet someone, then they're not choosing you for you, and eventually they're going to find out you're not the person that you said you was, and the relationship's going to break down. So this is all about relationship with yourself, with getting the right person. But of course, to get to that point, we've got to take baby steps. The first steps for most of my clients and everyone on this channel is having the courage to leave the house. I don't say that lightly. If you know my story, which most of you do, but I'll tell it to you quickly for those of you that don't subscribe to the channel. I'm 39 now. When I was 22, 25, I was so afraid I couldn't come out of my house. I was petrified. I had social anxiety. I couldn't even, let alone ask a woman out or make a sale or meet people. I was scared to come out of my house and go to the groceries and buy a pint of milk. I was that crippled with anxiety. So I've started from rock bottom, and I worked my way up slowly by leaving the house, going for walks, speaking to my family about my anxiety, went to the boxing gym, did boxing, went to the weightlifting gym, slowly but surely built my confidence up, took up public speaking, started dating, went on dates, obviously went through the rejections, and I built my confidence and self-esteem up through the process in which I'm describing to you. And this is how I've helped so many of my clients all around the world. But you know, you've got to be committed. If you're not committed, then unfortunately I can't help you to help yourself, and no one can. And you know, you're not going to get a relationship with the right woman by feeling sorry for yourself. No one ever fell in love with you because they felt sorry for you and they dated you. You've got to, you know, you've got to take responsibility and be accountable. So all this development, all the things I'm saying today, it may sound like there's a lot of things that you've got to do, but really there's only really one thing, and that's face your fears. Commit to facing your fears of rejection. And the more you face rejection, at first it's difficult because none of us like to experience rejection. We're human. But if you stick at it, the rejections turn to confidence. The disappointment of rejection or objections or perceived rejections turns to excitement. And when your energy changes, people change the way that they respond to you and view you. So example, if you've got a guy that's depressed and miserable and moaning and complaining and asking women out from that place, women are going to reject him, because no one wants someone in their life that's going to make them miserable and down and defeated. They want someone who's confident and strong. But if he keeps going and he's positive, that state of depression will change to confident, happy, outgoing, like the state that you see me in now, and he'll get a relationship. All right, Mark, sorry I didn't see your message there. So like I said, you know, people often say on YouTube it's a mindset, and it is a mindset, but I'd say it's a bit more than that. I'd say it's a heart set. I'd say it's courage. And courage doesn't derive from logic, reading books, or the mind. Courage comes from down here, the stomach, your heart. And it's exercising your courage which will eventually change your mindset from I'm not good enough to I know I'm enough. I'm afraid of rejection to I'm not afraid of it. I'm grateful. The best way to overcome rejection is gratitude. If you're grateful for the smallest things and you're grateful for the rejection and what it's going to teach you and how it's going to test you, then it's not rejection, it's feedback. But if you're in a certain mindset, which most people are, then you're going to absolutely be ashamed of rejection and yourself, and that's going to inhibit you. It will literally get in the way of your relationship. So it's not women that are inadvertently rejecting you, it's men that reject themselves because they are in a place of defeat, in a place of victim mentality. They're not enthusiastic, they're not communicating, they're not honest, they're not being themselves. And I'm not judging, I'm helping, pointing this out. And they're not in the right state. So you've got to break out of that. I mean, just my advice today, if you took this advice and you had the courage to apply it, you wouldn't need to come on the program. You could save yourself money and the time. But most people, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do it without my help and the help of the, you know, the fellow students on the program, because it's hard. It is hard. You know, I wouldn't have got to where I got to without support. And smart people get mentors. Unintelligent people don't. They don't see it as an investment, but they don't see a waste of money, spending money on junk food, alcohol, drugs, gambling. They don't see that as a way of misplacing their money. So smart people invest in coaches that are successful and that are smart to take them to the next level. So I don't understand it when guys say, you know, I'm 50, I'm 60, I've never had a relationship, but then they won't spend a couple of grand on my program or another coach's program. I mean, how much do you value being in love, having the right relationship? How much does it mean to you? And if it meant enough to you, there's not a price on this earth that can really buy having the right relationship and being in love and having confidence in yourself. So again, it's changing the way that you relate to fear. All this comes back to fear and love, changing that relationship. You know, and a lot of people as well, they are stuck in the past. They can't get past past breakups, disappointments, failures, bullying, trauma. And strong people have got one thing in common. They don't allow pain, rejection, trauma, abuse, negative things that have happened to them, which are not right. They don't allow that to defeat them. They don't let that define them and hold them back and keep them stuck. They use the pain and the trauma to move forward and get a great relationship. And that's what I did in every area. So anyway, guys, that's it from me. I've got to get to the gym. But yeah, I really appreciate the support. I've got a lot more videos coming. A lot of you are going to watch the stream later on. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the support. It's been great lately, coaching and doing the videos. So if anybody wants confidence coaching in mainly the area of social anxiety, I do business coaching now, relationship, like pretty much all in this area. You guys know where to find me. My email address is below. All right, have a great day and take this advice.